If you've logged into your WordPress-powered website recently, you may have noticed that the content editor looks a bit different. This new editor is called Gutenberg, and this short video will show you how to use it. The first thing I should mention about the Gutenberg editor is that if your current website uses some sort of page builder, continue using that for pages. So this video is just going to focus on posts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mouse over posts and click on Add New. So when the Gutenberg editor loads, a few of these sections should look familiar to you. For example, where it says Add Title, you simply click in there and add your title. Where it says Start Writing, simply click in there and start writing your story. Now on the right-hand side, we have a few options, and there's two main sections, Document and Block. I'm going to stick to Document for just a second. Here are options for your document, such as the visibility, or when you want to publish it. And if you hit the down arrow, you can expand these sections so we can see the different categories. Now this is just a sample website, and of course your website will have different categories. We can see any tags or add tags. Here we can associate a featured image with this post. We can choose an excerpt, and we can even toggle discussions. So on the right-hand side here towards the top, we have this little gear, and when you click it, all it does is hide that sidebar that we were just looking at. The three little dots give you more options, and most people won't need to come here, but maybe if you needed to add some HTML code, you can just change the editor from visual to code just by doing that. But most of the time, you're going to want to leave it on visual. So that's the right-hand side here. So let's talk about your actual post. So here it says Add Title. So I'm just going to click in there and type my sample post. Pretty simple. And here it says Start Writing or Type. Now I actually have some filler text copied onto my clipboard, so I'm just going to do that to save some time here. Now you'll notice that whenever my mouse is in any of these sections, the right-hand side here, the block option, I get different options. Now this is just a paragraph block, so I am seeing the paragraph block options. And the options for this particular block are font size, so I can make the text really big, or I can make it really small. Underneath it is drop cap, so I can click on drop cap. And you see how it takes the first letter of the first word and makes it larger? And here we have color settings. So we can change the background color of that block to blue, and then we can change the text color over it to whatever color we want. And there's a little clear button here if you just want to undo all those changes. Those are some of the options for the paragraph block, but there are a lot more blocks that you could choose. And how you access those blocks is in the top left of the screen, this plus button right here. Click on that, and you'll see that we have all the blocks here. It starts with most used, and you can choose any one of these. But if you scroll down a little bit, you'll actually see that there are other groups such as inline elements, common blocks, formatting, and layout elements. So I'm going to walk you through a few of them. So let's just start with something easy, such as an image. Whenever you want to add a block to your post, simply click on it and it'll add it to the bottom. And so this is an image block. And so I have a few images in my media library. So as you can expect, you have to click on media library, and I'm just going to choose this picture here and click on select. And there is my photograph. And just like before with the paragraph block, if you look on the right-hand side, the block tab is active, and you can see the options for the image block, such as alt text. You can change the size. You can actually change a pixel dimension here. And you can even make it link to anywhere, such as media file or custom URL. So that's an image. And you can also, even right here, you can write a caption. You can say, woman using laptop, right there. Okay? And one thing I should also mention, all blocks can be moved around. So even though this block is here underneath this paragraph, all we can do is you can either hold these little dots here or click the little up button and it'll move it up. See how it switched positions? And then of course you can hit down, so you can move them in any order you want. So that's an image block. That one's pretty simple too. I'm going to come back up here to the plus, and let's see what else I can choose. How about a cover? Now a cover is really interesting. What a cover is it's going to show an image with some text overlaid over it. Let me show you how that works. So with the cover block added to my document, I'm going to click on Media Library. I'm going to choose, let's say, this one. And here you see the picture behind it, and then it says Write Title. So I can click right over it, and I can say, I'm just going to say this is a test. And just like before, we have different block options for this cover. So I can change the cover overlay color to any color I want, either by picking on some of the predefined ones or choosing my own, or I can even enter a hexadecimal color down here. And I can even choose to make the background fixed. And all that means is with that chosen, when the user scrolls, the image will stay still. Do you see that? So it kind of makes like a window looking into that picture. I'm going to choose this here. So that's a cover. And let's come back up here and click on the plus again, and a heading. As you can imagine, this is pretty simple. So you just type your heading. This is a heading. Okay? And just like before, you have block options. You have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and alignment. So you can center it or left align it. Each block has its own set of options, and you access them right here. Now, we don't always have to come up here and hit this plus button. If you actually move your mouse over any current block, you'll see that that little plus sign appears. Do you see it there? I'm going to click on the plus button, and when we do, it's going to be the same block options that we see here. It's just when we add them, it's going to put them in between these two elements versus putting it at the bottom. So I'm just going to show you another block called the table, which I believe is in formatting. Click on table. And here you can choose how many tables or columns and rows you want in your table. So for example, let's say we want 4 columns and 5 rows. Click on create. And here you have a little table. So let's say you want to show some information like month and then sales and then expenses and profit. And here you can highlight any of these options and maybe bold them like this. Okay, so if you wanted to show sales information, then maybe you have January and February. And let's say your sales are 15,000. I'm not going to fill out the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you that this is how you can add tables full of information, just like that. So let's say you wanted to add a YouTube video underneath the table and above the heading. I'd move my mouse over this add block, click on that, and then let's find video, which will be down here under embeds. So you can embed a lot of different things. I'm just going to choose YouTube right now. And then you simply paste in the URL to a YouTube video and then click embed. So I found some cat video, and there's a cat video, and it'll then play on the front side. And of course, whenever you make your changes, you always want to make sure that you hit the publish button here in the top right. And it asks you a few questions, but more than likely you're just going to click the publish button. And with that, your new story is published.